If you cold approach 100 girls, it will change your life. Before I started cold approaching, I was a shy, insecure kid that was way too scared to make the first move and didn't really have any success with girls. And after cold approaching, my confidence skyrocketed and I started attracting girls with ease. There was 3 things that I wish I knew when I first started that would have made this whole process so much easier. To illustrate the first thing that you need to do to have long-term success, I want to take you back to 19-year-old Seb. When I was 19, I moved to Florida. I knew absolutely no one and I wanted to meet some girls. So the first thing I thought of was cold approaching. I watched a couple videos on YouTube and I headed to the mall to try it out for myself. See, I was still a shy, insecure kid, but I had not really interacted with the world and saw what it was really like. So I went in as a fresh slate, and the first thing I did was I saw 2 girls who were about my age. I walked over and was like, "Hey, what's up?" And they completely ignored me, kept walking. And I was so disappointed. I remember calling my friend, told him that I was trying some cold approaching and that I was just so disappointed in how my experience went. And he was like, "Bro, give it another chance." And I was like, "No, I'm done with this bullshit. I can't believe I left New York to come to Florida and get fucking rejected on my first try." So that was my first experience at cold approaching. And what I did wrong here was I let my courageousness and everything that I demonstrated that was a positive turn into a negative. See, you need to reframe how you view things. That is what I've done now. This is something I learned from neuro-linguistic programming and just reframing reality. What you can do is turn any experience into a positive. See, reality isn't positive or negative, it's the way that you perceive it. So what I've done now is I've changed me just simply going and doing a cold approach, being courageous, doing the thing that I truly want deep down to be the positive no matter what the outcome is. And this has led me to have long-term success. So even just recently, I've had many times where I've been rejected, given a fake phone number, or whatever the situation is. And I feel good about myself because I'm putting myself out there, trying to be the best version of myself, demonstrating courage, doing the things that I truly want to do deep down. And I know that inevitably it will lead to success as it has time and time again. But in the mix, there's going to be rejections, there's going to be those setbacks, but those are not what you let define you. You let the courageousness, the demonstration of your character and your being and you doing what you truly want, just being a man of your word, saying you're going to do something and going and doing it, be what defines you, not the rejections. So it's reframing reality to be a positive no matter what the outcome is. And this is going to lead you to long-term success with cold approaching. The second thing I wish I knew, because it's so easy, but it has crazy results. So from that last story I told you, fast forward about 6 months where I went into a monk mode after a breakup and I was really just developing myself in every way, shape, and form, and I was reading a bunch of books. One of the books I read was How to Win Friends and Influence People. And after reading that book, also Captivate, which was a book about charisma, I went to Sweden because I had some family there. And I went and tried out what I'd read in those books. And basically what those books talked about was that to be charismatic, to be a good conversationalist, there really doesn't need to be that much to it. You just have to be present. You just have to ask some open-ended questions. And you just have to really be a normal human being. And I was like, is it that easy? I thought you had to be Kevin Hart and be funny and all these things. And all of a sudden, I went out to Sweden and I just started introducing myself to people. I just said, "Hey, what's your name?" Started talking, asking where they're from, asking if they are going to school, what they do for work, having a basic, normal human conversation. And all of a sudden, I started sleeping with girls left and right. See, there was nothing that ever needed to be done besides just put yourself out there and talk like a normal human being. When you put girls on a pedestal, when you try and be so funny or you try so hard, you're just making things harder for yourself. If you can just put yourself out there, be normal, just interact in a conversation, you're gonna have so much success. You don't need to do anything extraordinary in order to get girls. You just putting yourself out there, going and introducing yourself is putting you ahead of 99% of people because most guys are too scared to even do that, especially with the gorgeous, gorgeous girls, which is the cheat code. If you go up to the hottest girls, they probably get approached less than the average girls do. So you're just introducing yourself, being a normal person, and if they see you as that and they see you as cool, nice, and they want to hang out with you, you're gonna get so many of the girls that you talk to. It's inevitable. But people overcomplicate the process. They think you have to be funny. They think you have to have some sort of cheesy pickup line, when that's the furthest thing from the truth. You just gotta be a normal human being, and you'll have more success than you can ever imagine. And now, for the last thing that I wish I knew, this is gonna tie into just having a normal human conversation, but is a total cheat code if you can do it the right way. This is gonna 10x your conversations and make you be the most interesting man in the room without even needing to try that hard. So to demonstrate this, I want you to imagine you're talking to two people. Person A is just talking about themselves. They don't ask you any questions in return. Their answers are short, one sentence, one word answers. They're on their phone the whole time, looking around the room, getting up, doing other things, barely paying attention, and not being present in this conversation at all. And person B is the complete opposite. They're completely engaged in this conversation, asking intelligently formed questions, open-ended questions that are relating to your dreams, your desires, really trying to get to know you as a person. And they're super present. They're not on their phone. They're just engaged in this conversation fully and giving you all their attention. Which person would you rather have a conversation with? It's gonna be the second one. This is what charisma is all about. It's all about presence, warmth. That's what's gonna be showing so much to a person that you actually care about them. And this is one of the most important things you can do in a conversation, is just be very present, very attentive, and ask intelligently formed, open-ended questions to really get to know this person on the topics they're most interested in. All you have to do to succeed at this is just listen to the things you pick up on earlier and start tying those things in to try and find out a little more and really make it in a way that's interesting and funny and charismatic. And if you can do that, people are gonna absolutely love you. And it doesn't have to be that hard. To be funny, you don't have to worry about that. That will come with time. But say someone just told you about their work. You can ask them, what do you love about doing that job? If it's something that they seem passionate about, you can really try and draw out that passion. Or if they're studying something in school, it's like, what do you aspire to be with that? And then you can ask them, follow-up questions. These are the things that you can take and draw more out of to really try and get to know someone. If you try and be genuinely interested in getting to know this person, these questions will just come naturally. One of the best executions I had with a girl was when I was just so interested in trying to find out about her, and these questions, they just came intelligently formed, open-ended, naturally, and we really just had an amazing conversation. She was 5 years older than me, but she was really like, wow, most of the guys my age can't even have this sort of conversation. And I had this with a 22-year-old. So I broke all the preconceived notions she had about young guys, and she was really interested in me just because I was able to have this sort of conversation with her, show that charisma, that presence, that warmth, and really ask the right questions and get to know her. So this is gonna be a total cheat code to really leveling up your game, and it's not even that difficult. So these are the three things that I wish I knew when I was getting started cold approaching, and they 10x'd my game. So if you got any value out of this video and you're gonna go on to do the 100 cold approaches, I want you to comment down below, tell me that you accept the challenge, and also come back once you've done them, because your life is gonna be changed 100% as mine was. And if this video provides you with any value, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I also offer a free coaching call, so if you want my help with developing and getting better at self-improvement in every single aspect, then book that down below.